What's going on, everyone? It is Gia here representing JiasWorld, and I'm going to give a review of the 2018 State of the Union address that just took place today, January 30th, 2018. It came on 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and we were able to listen to Donald J. Trump, liar-in-chief, bigot-in-chief, president of the United States of America, 45, basically give us a bunch of lies, in my opinion, and just more coded racist undertone, 1.5 hour speech of just bigotry all the way, and a lot of lies, and just what is really going on. I will say this though, for the first time in a long time, or probably ever for him, he stayed on task. He read all of what they wanted him to read. He stayed focused on the teleprompter. He didn't veer off into the left field. He stayed on track, which he had no other choice. I mean, let's face it. Donald J. Trump, 45, POTUS, okay, has the lowest approval rating of any sitting president. And so he has no choice but to try to appear like he's trying to get his life together and do what's right for the American people. Even though I live in the United States of America, I am an American citizen, and I'm not really seeing what Donald Trump is doing for me and my community. As a person of color, as an African American, as a woman, as a person who is gender fluid, gender queer, as a college educated person with $46,000 worth of debt, as a Flint, Michigan resident still without clean drinking water, I'm not seeing what this person is doing for me. But let's get to some of the things that I saw. Like, I basically live tweeted the entire State of the Union address, and we were using hashtags. We did use SOTU, State of the Union, but we also used State of Our Union, because there's a lot of things that were said by Trump that just outrightly was a bunch of BS, and it was a lot of lies and half-truths. I also find it weird how when he does talk about people of color, you know, the African Americans, the Mexicans, the Asians, you know, the people of color, when he does speak about us, we're basically used as tokens. So one of my concerns this entire State of the Union address was, where did he find these random African Americans and Asians and Hispanic Latinos and the Mexicans? Where did he find them to just out of the blue, oh, you're a welder, you're doing well, you come on, my African American friend. Where did he find these people? Then the people whose daughters were murdered by the street gang. Again, I send my love, my positive energy, my positive thoughts to those families and to people who have been affected by those situations and scenarios. But it's just odd how he finds two African American people of color families, brings them to the State of the Union to tokenize them and be like, you know, I'm helping these African Americans. Their daughters were killed by a terrifying street gang, and that's why I'm against immigration, or that's why we need stronger immigration policies. Again, where did he find these people? I mean, it's insane, right? And then he's talking about the young Korean man who his legs had to be amputated because he was trying to get coal to feed for his family when he woke up and was ran over by a train, and then he had went to China to visit, and on his way back he was tortured by North Korean officials. Again, is he finding these people? He tokenizes them, and then he uses little examples to then turn around and discriminate against an entire group of people. What in the world is going on? Then let's talk about healthcare. He's talking about how, you know, basically his State of the Union address, his whole purpose of running to be the president of the United States was because he had a personal vendetta out against Barack Obama. Okay? He has a personal vendetta that he will not drop. So every time he's talking about derailing all of the progress that was made under Barack Obama, and don't get me wrong, Barack Obama is not perfect. I mean, let's be honest. Under his administration, we saw the most people being deported under Obama's administration, okay? We did. However, 45, Barack Obama, I'm sorry, but yeah, I would prefer Barack Obama over Donald Trump any day. But everything he talks about is him derailing whatever Obama did. And it's like, oh, we got rid of the federal mandate for healthcare. How is that really a good thing? I mean, we have millions of people who still do not have access to healthcare coverage. Jobs are still leaving the country. Many employers still do not offer healthcare coverage, 401ks, pensions, retirement, paid family leave. They don't offer any real benefits, so a lot of people are gonna go without healthcare because of that. How is that good? How is it that you're making America great again, yet the United States is falling behind in education, healthcare coverage? We're falling behind other countries, so clearly we're not great. Okay, because most first world countries have universal health care, and they also have universal education, as in people can go to college for free. You're not drowning in massive student loan debt. Okay, again, I don't really see how 45 is speaking on the behalf of me when I owe $46,000 because you're making America great again, and I live in America, and I went to American universities that put me into debt. Okay, I'm just gonna be real. So then we have his comments about the nuclear family. It is 2018. It is not 1950. Why are we still using outdated terms such as the nuclear family? First of all, many people, families, are not just a mother and a father and maybe a sibling and a dog or a cat, and they're not all living on a house on a hill in a white picket fence. We do not live in the 1950s. This is 2018. Speaking personally, my family is my granny, my papa, my mother, and my uncle. That is my family, okay? My friends, my close friends are my family. My community members are my family. My mentors are my family. But the people who raised me were my grandparents. So under Trump's horrific immigration reform, he is destroying families. He is breaking families up. Now, isn't that weird? Because a lot of you Republicans and you conservative, evangelistical, you always talk about having strong family values. How is this a strong family value by breaking up families? How is that a good thing? You people are insane, and you're hypocrites and you're bigots. That's all this really shows us, okay? And then you hear everyone in the crowd screaming, USA, USA, USA. I'm just gonna go on and say it. If this doesn't show you what fascism looks like, bro, then I don't know what does. Because pretty soon, folks are gonna be doing all kinds of, we're already seeing folks taking to the streets, wearing polos and khakis, carrying tiki torch lamps, talking about they're the alt-right, aka the new Nazi party, okay, who are all influenced by Donald J. Trump and associates, or should I say Donald J. Trump and bigots. So this is just absolutely ridiculous. And I do not support Donald Trump. I do not support bigotry. I don't support sexism, racism, misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, classism. I don't support it. And then he goes on another rampage. He's still upset at Colin Kaepernick for kneeling during the national anthem. I will continue to kneel during the national anthem because you know what? People who look like me are constantly being discriminated against in this shitty country. People who look like me have to worry about getting shot and killed by police on the daily. People who look like me have to deal with environmental racism on the daily. That's right, they are purposely poisoning entire cities and having all of this pollution in people of color communities, and then you wonder why people of color children are more likely to suffer from lead poisoning and asthma than other communities. I wonder why. Again, I'm going to continue to kneel because my ancestors were brought here in chains. We didn't come here as immigrants, okay? So I'm going to continue to kneel. But again, Donald J. Trump has to make a portion of his State of the Union address be about people kneeling. Again, this dude has no right to be anybody's leader or anybody's president. I do not vote for him. Anyways, this video is getting long. Overall, he stuck to the script, which is remarkable because most times he's going off on tangents and, saying a lot of crazy shit. He still said a lot of crazy shit, but this time it was more tailored to his bigoted base. Which brings me to this. I'm just going to go in and say it. If you support Donald Trump, you support sexism, racism, classism, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, you are a bigot. End of discussion. I'm done giving you excuses. If you support him, you support all of the bigotry and the white supremacy and the racism that comes along with him. You too, my friend, are a racist, bigot, classist, homophobic, closed-minded person. Anyways, that has been my review. He spoke to his base, he stayed on track, and he spewed a lot of half-truths and straight-up lies and continues to spread bigotry and hatred. Again, 2018 is a midterm election year. It is up to you and me, it is up to us to become involved, become informed, run for political office, vote, organize in your community. If you don't want to vote federally, at least vote locally and state, okay? But at the end of the day, we have to get organized, we have to mobilize, we have to unify, and we have to act. We can't sit around here watching folks like Trump and associates or Trump and bigots continue to wreak chaos on the masses. We can't do it.